And welcome everybody once again to Total Rising. It feels good to be behind the table once again here with you, Rafa. And pretty much the only thing that feels good about it. And we want to give a special shout out to everybody who was out there for the Phoenix Rising game is against Tampa Bay Rowdies. Man, y'all went through it, let me tell you, because it was not a good night. We had a blood moon going, and we had a bloodbath on the field with Tampa Bay absolutely destroying Phoenix Rising on their home field. Rafa Sanchez, you were there. You were there, obviously, with the Banditos. And let me just ask, man, how was it seeing that just live, just execution, pretty much?
It was a horrible Sunday, Danny. First of all, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here at Total Rising. My name is Rafael Sanchez. Danny, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. It was a game to I think will be remembered by many of us. I mean, we scored first, so we were like, all right, remember, we can match.
That's what I saw first.
Right.
Because I was covering the Phoenix Suns game, and obviously that ended terribly for us. And after the game was over, I thought, okay, Phoenix Rising was winning. Let me hop on, and I need something to cheer me up after the Phoenix Suns lost. Let me tune into the Phoenix Rising game. And man, things escalated quickly.
Yeah, and I think we were at a level of comfort, you know, like, oh, we score first, we're gonna match the game. I mean, against a big top team from the Eastern Conference, you know, Tampa Rowdies, that we could have played a final 2 seasons ago, I guess.
2 seasons ago.
So you know what, 1-0, why not? I mean, I think we can score one more goal, you know, 2-0. That should be a good game. But no, they score, and they score again, and then they score again, and then a fifth goal. Overall, Danny, we were talking about behind the scenes. We were talking about something that's going on with Phoenix Rising that's individual. I mean, we're talking about players that they look so different compared to last season. You know, for example, Darnell King. This year he's one of our captains. We were expecting more from him. You know, more as a leadership. You know, like, hey man, you be here for 3 seasons. Come on, like, step in, help out the team. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good player. He's been showing effort. You know, he's good with the fans. You know, he comes to the South End and shows support. But I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, you and I discussed that Darnell King obviously was the right choice for captain at the beginning of the season. We had no problem with that. And I think that captaincy has been an issue almost every other week, is that whenever there's a bad rising, the people always say, why is Darnell captain? He should not, whatever, all this. No, let's be clear. From the beginning of the season, we thought he was the right choice. He represented the values that Phoenix Rising had. He was obviously had the support of the fans and everything that he has done for this club since he's been here. And the sharp fall off from what it is that we just can't put our finger on it. Last season, he was able to go up, help the attack, and be down before the play was over to cover his position or to cover whoever else covered him. And just that rotation that they had was so impressive that there was no weak link in that fence. And now that Darnell King goes up and he tries to help out in the offense. He doesn't make it back on time. He comes back super late. His space is always uncovered, and that's where a lot of the offense goes through. And by no means am I putting all the blame on Darnell King. It's just something that always comes up every single week, that he is his captaincy. And I think it could have happened to anybody. If Farrell had been named the captain, we would have been named, hey, does Farrell deserve it? Is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. Like, is he a good leader?
He got a red card, so imagine if he would have been captain. Why are you selling yourself like that, receiving a red card?
Well,
especially
a couple weeks ago, Darnell King got that red card.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying the same thing. So, yeah, it could have happened to anybody that would have taken up that captain's armband. And it's just that it amounts to responsibility that is behind it. He accepted it, knowing what that responsibility was. He knew that if the team starts going bad, it's on him as much as the coach, because he is the leader as far as the player sides of it. And he accepted that when he accepted that armband. But to see the team have this just bad streak of play, not even the results, the bad play is what gets to me. Is that it's one thing if we would have been losing, tight games, where
turnovers, man.
We have like a good back and forth. There's a lot of offense going on, or like a tightly contested defensive game where one goal at the end, routed the victory for the other team. That's one thing, but we have not been playing good soccer since we've been on the field. We had one good game against Monterey Bay, and then everything else we've kind of squeaked by our victories.
I mean, we swept San Antonio easily, home and away. We beat them good and easily, and even though he was on the undefeated team. But I mean, losing against LA Galaxy 3-0, having
that was the worst.
That was
not until this past Sunday.
Right now, losing against Sacramento, a USL team and a US Open Cup, and now losing 5-1 against Tampa. We were nationally. We were everywhere these Sunday games. So I was hoping maybe, let's beat Tampa. Let's put our name on out there. Let's tell the whole country, hey, who we are. That we here for better. We want to be in the MLS. We want to be in a better league. But I'm losing against 5-0. Losing against Tampa, first of all. Losing against Tampa, that's one.
That's bad enough.
Losing against 5-1, that's another. So. And talking about another player that it's been 10 weeks, no scores. Yeah, like 2 or 3 assistants. Yeah, why? But I mean, since a little bit before half of the season last year, he stopped scoring. We're talking about Santi Mora.
Yeah.
Santi Mora, he came from one of our biggest rival in the USL, which is New Mexico. We give him a kind of like a hard time in the beginning, but he showed effort. He showed passion. He shows entrega.
Showed that he wanted to win in Phoenix.
And y que se quería ganar el corazón de los aficionados, and he did. But now, after being the top leading scorer last season for the first 7 games, he stopped scoring. And now on top of that, I think you mentioned a couple of shows ago, every defender can read his next move.
Yes.
And that's something that he needs to change. And also, same thing this past game. They taking the time to somehow accommodate the ball, put it to the right foot, put it to the left foot. Those 3 extra or 4 seconds is killing us, Danny. Because I think as soon as you receive a pass, you should know what to do next.
Especially being the elite scorer that you came in here with. I mean, last season, first 7 games, 7 goals right away.
Boom, boom, boom.
And that pace, obviously we knew he wouldn't be able to keep it up.
Right.
But not to the level that he's just completely fallen off the face of the earth here. And the front line in general has been having a hard time scoring goals. Repetto, we thought he was going to be a major player up in the front, and he's been very underwhelming. That's one of the things right there. Marcus Epps, we were talking about it earlier. Marcus Epps is a good player that needs to play his game, and I don't want to put out there what he's trying to do, but to me, it seems like he's trying to be Solomon Asante. The same type of play that Solomon was known for playing, the same type of assist, the same type of game, and he showed us in preseason that he's a different kind of player. He's a good player.
Yep.
And that's something that he needs to bring out in himself and try to help the team that way, not by replacing somebody else.
Danny, back in San Antonio, he was a tremendous guy. That's why Rising brought him.
Yeah,
because he was so aggressive. He was like almost the same type of Asante, like being a playmaker, in the scoring. That's why we brought him. because I guess they knew that Asante wasn't gonna renew or something, right. So they were looking for someone with the same quality, same description, but he hasn't showed that. I mean, yeah, he has two goals, yeah, but I mean, he could have at least 6 right now.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we got a comment here from Brian Mendorf. Thank you so much. He says that discipline has been a big issue this season. We've had too many cards pulled on us. That is very true.
That's true.
We have been very undisciplined. There's always that sort of narrative that the refs are harder on the Phoenix Rising because we have the reputation for being the best team, so they look very closely at us. But some of the players have also done a little bit too much, trying to I don't know if it's desperation to get the ball, desperation to get on the score sheet. Frustration is another good one, and definitely is hindering the ability. We've had, I think, more red cards this season than we had all last season alone. So that discipline has definitely been an issue for the players that have been on the field. Another thing that we haven't talked about is injuries. Yes, we have been injured, especially in the back line with Musa being out, Kevin Lambert having to step up and be him, and now him being out also, having to get guys like Madrid and other new players that have been brought up to try to get him to step up. And it's just been a constant rotation. That's something that a manager has to deal with in all seasons. Injuries, obviously, they plagued Phoenix Rising very early on, and that's made life a living nightmare for Coach Rick Chance.
In addition to that, Danny, besides the frustration, desperation, I think also is the rivals somehow they're playing mind game to Phoenix Rising, and that's why Phoenix Rising playing because. I don't know how you seen it, but especially against Galaxy, they were skilled and fast.
Yeah.
To the point that Rising was like, how can I step it? Yeah. Right. And on top of that, we cannot hear what they say in the field, but I'm pretty sure they see like strong stuff, And that's something that also we have seen that Rising falls for that. Dude, focus on your game, concentrate on your game. If they say something bad or they say or they're making fun of you, ignore that. Continue. Demonstrate that you can be no verbally, but you can demonstrate on the field.
Yeah.
Alun tuned, or make us a good play or score, and I promise you will shut up the rival in their face.
And that's what we used to do all the time.
And that's what we used to do. Now we're not showing that. Danny, against Sacramento, and I'm going to repeat this again. You know how sometimes when the team is losing, it's like the last 10 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. You see the team, the losing team, being on the other side, pushing, trying to make plays, making all the plays that they can. I didn't see that for Phoenix Rising. No. As soon as they scored the second goal, boom! Everyone went down.
Yeah, it's like it's over. We've gone as far as we could, and that's it. Le bajaron las manos,
and I bet you they were with this mentality. Oh, it's a U.S. Open Cup. Who cares? It's just a cup. Whatever. We're gonna focus on the league. Well, on the league, you're not doing anything to you.
It doesn't look like you're focused on the league. So that's something else. After that game against Tampa, a lot of controversy with Rick Chance's actions after the game, with the press conference being asked, what happened after the 5-1, if the fans deserve better than this. Mm-hmm. And Rick, I think, responded to probably the same way that a lot of people might have, out of frustration, a shrug and kind of
heated, angry, upset.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, Rick Chance is not all of us. Mm-hmm. He is held as a higher standard. He is the coach. He is the face of the organization, for lack of better terms, and he's the one que tiene que dar la cara. He's the one that needs to step up at these sort of things. And
like a customer service rep.
There you go.
After you hear a complaint. Even though it wasn't your fault, even though he took it personally. No.
I think so.
He should acknowledge.
And he did later on. We do have to admit that after on social media, he did apologize to all the fans for the poor performance and acknowledge that the team needs to do better because the fans deserve better. And I definitely agree with that. Like, all of us fans, we're the most spoiled fans in USL. And we can admit to that because we're used to winning every single game. That is what we want. That's what we expect from the team. But even when we lose, because obviously we've lost in the past, and we've been able to all right, whatever, it was a good game, we'll come back next time. And the players on the field, they fought to the end. That is something that we didn't see here, and maybe even the coach himself kind of down on himself for that, and seeing that the team gave up. I mean, I'm trying to figure out a better way to put it, but no, the team gave up.
So Danny, think about it, and it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but somos un equipo grande.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't won a championship, but we went to 2 finals. Well, one because of COVID. We have won Western Conference champions. We have the most extended winning streak in U.S. Championship history. So we are a big team. We cannot lose against these teams like that.
Yeah.
So my other thing is, imagine when we play Louisville. Louisville right now is number 1 in the Eastern. Are we gonna expect a 5-1, a 4-0?
So those are the kind of doubts that get put into the fans' minds, and I hope not the players' minds, because as a player, obviously you get into the short-term mentality. You know, the short-term memory. Short-term memory. You forget about it. You go on to the next one, which is what Phoenix Rising has on social media been putting out. You know, we acknowledge that this was a bad game, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back stronger. That's fine. That's what we need to hear. Now prove it on the field. This is what we need to do. We have read that Musa is back to match fit form. He's able to be a full participant in practice. Once he gets some more, practice minutes on the training pitch, he's going to be able to be back on the starting lineup. And they desperately need him. They desperately need Musa.
Definitely. I mean, Martin Madrid and Saver, they did a great job. I like how Saver plays, even though he scored on the 4th or 5th goal. I mean, he could have the 4th after a center pass. He could have get it out. He just touched it and went into the net. I mean, those mistakes we understand. You try to get it out, but unfortunately, it took a different route. I don't want to hope anymore, Danny, because I mean, I can see Musa can do a good job, and I don't want to say, I hope we get better. No, I think we need to get better.
It has to be.
It has to be. Now we're going against New Mexico this Saturday. It's not gonna be an easy game. New Mexico, they put in between 13,000, 18,000 fans in the stadium.
Yep.
Especially right now that they're playing against us, and they know that we're hurt, that we're injured right now. Overall, they're gonna go.
They want to kick us while we're down. And why not?
Right,
if we were in that position, seeing a big team down, and we were next against them, we got to kick them while they're down.
And we know Rising. It's hard for Rising to play under those circumstances. Have the fans all over them.
Yeah.
If we get a tie,
it's a baseball stadium too.
It's
right?
a baseball.
They've not had a good run historically with baseball stadiums.
If we get a tie, that would be like a C-, like a C-.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think we definitely need to get this victory against New Mexico. I think it's going to be a statement game. Phoenix Rising has put on a brave face during the week, and they've taken their punches on social media on all the players, and I think for the most part it's been justified. That the fans asking the players to do better, asking the coaches to do better. I don't agree with anything that has to do with hate or anything, or putting the players' personal lives or attacking them personally. There's no need for any of that. Obviously, we're all people. We all make mistakes, and at the end of the day, even though we're passionate about sports, they're sports, and there are more important things in life. And so for us to know that we have the statement game coming on, it's definitely for the Phoenix Rising to show that they are still a Phoenix Rising that we know and love. This is, more importantly, I think, a statement for somebody that we've been talking about, which is Santi Moore. Coming from New Mexico, there's always that,
Espinita.
Yeah, of course. And whenever they come here, the supporters that come, they boo him when they see him. When he goes over there, they boo him. And they remember what he did for them, but what he's been doing for Phoenix Rising. He hasn't scored all season. He hasn't scored for months. Rafa, I'm expecting a breakout game from Santi Moore. And and it's just one of those things that we've been talking about. The Phoenix Rising needs to do better, needs to do all this, so the players need to step up. This run right here, I think is personal for him, for the team. As much as they want to push it to the back, no, that's to the side. That was years ago. No, it's still personal there, because because the fans remind him every time.
And you know what? I think you brought a good point, Danny. Even though we're going through a small crisis, this is a time to see who the real fans are.
Yeah.
Because win or lose, I mean, even though the score, we can turn the page and move on, but we're still going to be Rising fans. We're still going to be there. We're still going to support. I mean, apparently the section...
Rafa has proved it right here. I did not expect him to walk into the studio with the Best in the West t-shirt.
I wear it to work. I mean, that's
a fan right there.
It's my team. It's what I support. and then we're not fans about scoreboards. We win or lose, it's still my team, you know.
Exactly.
We have a good game against. We have a coming up game in Saturday. I want the best of Phoenix Rising, at least to show effort, at least to show, hey, we did our best. I can see that. I can tell you, thank you, I appreciate it. You know, I want to see Arturo Rodriguez do more. I mean, you know, he's moving little by little, but I want to see him more. Santi Mora, I'm asking you just one goal, especially at your old house.
I want a hat trick.
I want a hat trick.
I want a hat trick. Earn my love back, Santi.
Ben Lund, I mean, he's been a good goalkeeper. I think it's just a matter of games to kind of like mature, you know, on the goal.
Ben Lund, I don't know what it is. Half of the games he plays, he's the greatest goalkeeper in the world, and the other half, like, things get by that, like, you yourself are like, bro, what are you doing?
Like on the
he's so like, he doesn't decide whether he wants to be the best or not.
Second or third goal, he went out of his box, which I believe he shouldn't have to. Mm-hmm. Why? Because there was like Madrid and Farrell on the box. I mean, so there was time for Phoenix Rising to at least block, you know, or defend.
Yeah.
I think he kind of like got panicked. He was like, oh, let me get out and see how I can block it, and then they scored on us. I think that could be a goal that it could be at least a save. But we'll see, Danny. We'll see. Apparently, the visiting section at New Mexico Stadium for Phoenix Rising has been sold out. Okay,
what do they give? 150.
Well, right now it's 128.
Okay.
So it's not bad. Good number.
Yeah,
good number. You know. So we wish you the best. Come back safe. You know, even though their fans are not like Querétaro or anything like that, but you never know.
Right.
So and especially here in the U.S., they have a lot of security. You know. So hopefully they take care of their own good on themselves.
Before we leave, Rafa, I also want to like shout out the message that was sent from the Bandidos to the team this during the practice sessions, and we're gonna get some images right now onto the screen, where during the practices that obviously they practice next to the stadium, the practice facility, they brought out the tifo that was used in the first game, kind of as a reminder to, like, you know, we messed up last season, we didn't quite get where we wanted to, just remember who you are, and the team rallied around that. Mm-hmm. And you can speak more to that you know what, they wanted to remind them once again. Yeah,
play with honor and remember who you are, play with honor. You know, because sometimes you might come in from good team and you hear good things about Rising, you hear about the party moving in Arizona, you hear it's a great state, but hey, if as soon as you wear the red jersey or black jersey, you need to know who you're playing with.
Yeah,
who you're playing for. You need to know that there's one of the biggest fan base in the whole USL, you know, that will love to support you, will love to chant for you, will like to be there for you as a player, you know. But I think this message, some of the players are forgetting about. So I think it's time to, like, hey,
and it was a good reminder here.
It's a good reminder. There you go.
And definitely something we look forward to. Like we said, we had the game this Saturday at New Mexico, a statement game. And yes, it may be wishful thinking, but no, I want a hat trick from Santi Mora.
Or for me, a victory.
Knowing Rick, he's not even going to play him now that I said it.
That's true. I mean, all these changes. For me, just like a victory. 1-0, I'll be satisfied, you know?
All right. So then for us, that's going to be it for everything. Hopefully next week we're going to be here with some good news, Rafa, because that's something that we, not only as Rising fans, but as a Valley, we really need right now. Like, I turned to Phoenix Rising at my darkest moments, and they slapped me in the face with this 5-1.
Yeah, it was horrible, but let's see. Let's hopefully this Saturday things change. We wish the best for Phoenix Rising, and this is the time to, like I said, notice who the real fans are.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I have been Danny Orona here with Rafa Sanchez, and this has been Total Rising. We'll see you here next week.